Hey everybody, what's up? And in this video, I'm going to be giving you all a review of the LEGO Harry Potter Hogwarts Great Hall.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Hand-me-down robes, orange hair, you must be a Weasley.
Slytherin.
There's a troll in the dungeon! I'm going to start the review by taking a look at the minifigures. So first off, we have on the left Harry Potter, the boy who lived, and Ron on the right. Both these figures look amazing. They share torsos, but the torsos are insanely nice with the Gryffindor robes. They look really good. Both hair pieces are really fitting for the younger versions of these characters, and their alternate faces look really, really good. Next two are Hermione Granger on the left and Susan Bones on the right, and I love that they included Susan Bones in the set for this Hufflepuff torso. It is amazing. Finally, LEGO's giving us Hufflepuff torsos, so that's really awesome. Both these figures have alternate faces, which again, are pretty fitting for them. Next up, we have Draco Malfoy on the right and Nearly Headless Nick on the left, and Draco looks amazing for who he's supposed to be. He really has done well. But unfortunately, this was a missed opportunity with Nick. I mean, come on, he's Nearly Headless Nick. They really should have included a jumper plate there. It's not included in the set, but if they would have done that, this would actually be the perfect set. The figure's really nice though, and I love it, and I'm glad that you can do that pretty easily, but come on. That's how you make him nearly headless. Really like that. And both of these minifigures have really fitting alternate faces. Nick's is a little strange, being just a sad face, but I'll take it. Here we have Professor Quirrell on the left and Rubeus Hagrid on the right. Both these figures look good. I think Hagrid is just, I don't know, he looks very different from the other one, which isn't bad. His beard and hair, I don't think it necessarily fits, but I think he looks really good. And then Quirrell is amazing because he gets his alternate face for Voldemort. And what's really cool is Quirrell was actually the first ever LEGO minifigure to get a double-sided face back in the early years of LEGO Harry Potter. So getting another version of him here is just really, really awesome. And lastly, we have McGonagall, and I had to save the best for last in this set, Dumbledore. Dumbledore looks amazing. He looks just like the actor from the first 2 years of the movies, especially with the hair. The hair is so fitting for him. Dumbledore looks absolutely amazing. McGonagall looks really good too. The only issue I have with her is that you can start to see her alternate face there with the hat. It's just a little too short of the hat, but it's still cool, and both of these figures do have really awesome alternate faces. So here is the castle build itself, and the first thing I have to say about this thing is huge. The actual Great Hall, what the set is named after, is massive. This thing is built, and it actually takes up more than a base plate's length full of studs, and it takes up half a base plate deep, which is awesome. There's a ton of details on this thing, but I'm going to actually start our tour down here where you can see the boat that the kids take to get to the castle. This is a pretty nice build. It's, you know, a simple LEGO boat piece, but they do have a lantern in there, and you can fit a good number of students. You actually can fit all 5 students in there, and the boat just pulls up to this dock right here, which is where Hagrid is standing. It's pretty basic, but it looks good. Coming up, I'm going to start by taking a look at this tower. This tower is pretty basic. It uses a bunch of rather large parts to accomplish its build, but it ends up looking really good. I love these stickers. Absolutely love them, mostly because of how nostalgic it is to the other castles to me. Taking a look down at the main Great Hall bit, there's a pretty nice sized hallway in here, and that's pretty surprising actually how good this hallway is. And then you can see the entrance to the Great Hall, which we'll look at in just a moment. There's a really nice clock up above there, which looks awesome. Coming down, you'll notice in the windows there are little statues with nanofigs, which is amazing. The actual build of the whole Great Hall, though, is fantastic. They've got the windows, and it's pretty repetitive, but it looks so good. I mean, just check this out. They've got the spikes here, they've got the pyramids, just everything here looks amazing. And I really like how they have these rock bits underneath here. They're really good. They just add a ton of details. They have the new leaf pieces. Just the whole thing looks insanely good. The roof is nice too. It's gray. I wasn't really sure how I'd like the gray roof, but it looks really good. It's a pretty basic build again, but they have these new interesting parts that are kind of like cheese slopes, but like only halfway or double cheese slopes. I don't really know the correct terminology, but it looks great. And then lastly, coming along this side of the build, we just have pretty basic stuff. They've got a bunch of more windows in here, and this is a detail I really like for some reason. I just like how these windows are built, because they've got the little parts that come out of there. Just has a good amount of texture. And speaking of texture, I really like all the colors they chose here, because this is a pretty bland colored castle. I mean, it's mostly tan, but I really like how they used the nougat color parts in there and the textured bricks. It really adds a lot to it. Now, let's enter the Great Hall. So this is the main entrance to the Great Hall. I showed it earlier, but these are two big double doors that open, and inside you can see into the Great Hall. And what's really interesting here is if you can just get a good enough view in, you can see all the teachers sitting down at their table. There you go, that's pretty good. Check that out. That right there might be the best view of this set, just period. It's so good. I mean, I love that. You open these doors, and that's the first thing you see. That's fantastic. Now, I do wish the doors had some sort of doorknob, but this view says it all for the set. So good. Looks just like the movies. Oh my gosh, I could literally talk about this view all day. I'm such a big Harry Potter fan. This is fantastic. Here's a look at the rest of the interior of the Great Hall, and again, it looks really good. There's a nice fireplace in the back, which I think looks pretty good. I mean, it's about as good as we could ask for. But up top is where it starts to get really special, because we've got 4 of the new candle pieces up there. So nice. And then, even nicer still, we have the house banners. We have one for Gryffindor there, and one for Slytherin, and Legos really outdone themselves this time, because you can flip these banners around, and you get one for a Ravenclaw, and of course, one for Hufflepuff. That is so good. I love that so much. Coming down, there are 4 house tables, which is also really nice. There's a couple of brooms on the wall, which are good so you could have flying lessons in the school. The tables are nice. They each have different food items, and I like how the teacher's area is elevated by just a plate above the rest. Now, to get a figure in to sit in here, you have 2 options since they have the little legs. You could either have them on the bench like this, or underneath, kind of like that. That looks better, I think. But there is one slight thing that I would recommend with this, and that's that the way it's set up now, there's really not a lot of room to have figures walk in between. You can, but it's not comfortable. So I strongly recommend you pick up these tables and just move them in a stud, just like that. And it makes them closer. You can still pose these guys good, but you can also have more room to run these guys in. I would also do the same thing with the benches back here, just move them in a stud. Everyone still fits in, it just gives you more walkway in the actual hall, which is really good. But my goodness, Lego did an amazing job with this Great Hall. It is so good. It's just this whole hall, I mean, it's so good. One last thing in the back there behind Dumbledore is the House Cup, which is another really great thing to include in this set. It's so good. Now taking a look at the other main tower to the castle, this first floor has movable stairs, and these are good. You can pose a figure back there, but I will say you can't completely swivel the stairs the other way around. But it's still really nice, and it's really good because you can actually make a figure walk up these stairs, which I think is really good and really important. Next up, we have a classroom. I believe this is supposed to be a potions classroom, which is fine. On the table back there, you have a couple of potions and a cup. There's a big brewing bowl in there, and in the back, there's a smaller cauldron that looks like it has a red potion that is exploding. I like that. That's a really good feature. Coming up this next level is a room I really like. This room has the Sorting Hat, and I mean, this guy, he's amazing. Look at that. It's perfect. It looks just like the Sorting Hat. I mean, LEGO really has outdone themselves with this set. Also in the room is a new spider piece and a treasure chest that inside has a bunch of gems. Moving up above from that room, we get to the very top room, and this is really special because it has the Mirror of Erzed in there, and it's an actual LEGO mirror piece. You can see my camera through the reflection. You can put Harry there and you can see his most wanted thing, but there's a lot more to see besides that we'll take a look at. Behind it is Fox. I mean, check this out. This is a pretty good build for a LEGO Phoenix. I mean, check them out. That is really, really good. LEGO's done an amazing job. I mean, this alone could have been awesome, but wait till you see what they did with the mirror. You see, this mirror doesn't just show Harry's reflection in the Mirror of Erzed. It also shows Dumbledore's. This shows him holding a sock. It's kind of a weird thing to have a reflection for, but it is what it is. But that's not it. They include a separate piece. This has Professor Quirrell's, which shows him holding the Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone, depending on where you're from. And then lastly, they have Ron's, which I really like, which shows him with the Quidditch championship. He's really happy. He's on the team, captain. I mean, these are perfect. These are so good. Well done, LEGO. I'm very, very happy with these. Also, one thing I didn't mention earlier in the review is that the set also does include Hedwig for Harry, which I believe is the same owl they gave us before, and Scabbers / Peter Pettigrew for Ron. And this is the new rat piece, and it looks really, really good. Last up included in the set is this basilisk, which I think looks pretty good. The face is represented pretty good with the yellow studs for the eyes, and I love the fangs because you can real easily pull them out, and that's great if you want to play for the later years of Harry Potter because they're insanely important to the story. Other than that, this thing just looks good. You can get a ton of different poses with it. I mean, you can go for a fairly flat pose. You could do something like this where it's more like angled. You can even curve this thing. It's just ball joints, but I think it really looks good. And I mean, kids are just gonna have fun slithering this thing around. It is a smaller thing. It's probably made with extra parts in the budget. But let's be honest, this thing is a really, really good build. Just make sure you don't look it in the eye. In case you somehow missed it, I really love this set. I mean, this set has everything there is to offer from the first Harry Potter books and movies. It's phenomenal. The minifigure selection is great. They all look really good. There's a ton of new parts with the minifigures, and the actual castle, it really, really looks good. I mean, I've said all my thoughts about the set. I could talk for hours about it and how much I love it, but instead I'm just going to leave you all by saying that I am in love with this set and that you're going to see a lot more videos from me involving this set and LEGO Harry Potter as a whole. So thank you all so much for taking the time to watch this video. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you all again in my next video.